Stop what you are doing right now, wherever you are. Do not scroll past this crucial message today. I am speaking directly to your spirit in this exact moment. You are about to keep moving because you thought this was just another ordinary video on your screen. But I intervened to interrupt your timeline. A profound shift is entering your life. Something shocking will happen tonight. This is not a random occurrence. There is absolutely no coincidence in my kingdom. I drew you to this place on purpose. Your spirit felt heavy and restless all throughout the day, and you could not explain the strange exhaustion weighing heavily on your chest. That was my specific signal pulling you into this sanctuary. I need your full and undivided attention right now. Before you take another breath, just listen to my voice. The deep silence of this night is carrying a massive revelation. Do not let the loud distractions of the world pull your eyes away. I am the urgent watchman standing at the gate of your destiny. If you walk away from me now, you risk missing the exact key that you have been crying out for during your darkest seasons. My beloved child, I clearly see your hidden fatigue. I know exactly how utterly tired your beautiful mind has become. You have been carrying the terrible weight of impossible situations for so many long months. You smile brightly during the day, so that the people around you will not worry about your struggles. But I see the quiet tears you hide when your room goes dark. The enemy wants you to believe you are entirely alone. He whispers that your current situation will never change, but you have never been abandoned by heaven. The spiritual attacks on your life have been incredibly severe lately because the shadow is afraid. Hear me clearly today. He did not attack you because you are weak, but because he is completely terrified of what is coming tonight. Something monumental is shifting in the unseen realm right now. Tonight is the exact time when the heavy scales fall. The generational seal that has held your family in lack is cracking. I am preparing to do something so shocking that it will leave all your doubters completely speechless. But you must stay with me until the very final word of this message to receive it. Take a slow and deep breath right now. Let your tense shoulders drop slightly. Let the heavy tension leave your neck. I am placing my holy peace over your weary and battle-torn spirit. Do you feel that sudden and comforting warmth spreading in your chest? That is my divine presence wrapping around you to remind you that you are safe in my arms. I am telling you to surrender your quiet fear. Do not let your busy mind wander to your worldly problems. Do not think about the bills or the conflicts awaiting you tomorrow morning. I am asking you to remain entirely present here. The exact cause of your spiritual block is going to be permanently dismantled before the sun rises again. Keep this private revelation very close to your heart. You were chosen to witness a truly rare spiritual alignment today. This specific window of divine grace is not open for everyone walking on the earth. It is reserved exclusively for the rare soul who has endured the lonely wilderness without turning bitter toward me. You are that rare soul. You are my precious one. I have a specific instruction for you later in this encounter. I must prepare your heart first before I hand you the master key. Listen closely to every single word I speak over your life, because the very last revelation I share today is the exact key that unlocks your locked doors and breaks your heavy chains. Do not rush this delicate spiritual process. The dark shadows of this long night are about to break. The painful season of waiting is finally coming to an end. Something incredibly shocking is making its way to your household right now. Heaven is on high alert, and my warrior angels are moving fiercely on your behalf to clear the blocked path that has held you back. Settle your anxious heart and prepare to receive my truth. I want to speak directly to the silent ache you hide behind your gentle smile. You have been walking through a thick fog of exhaustion lately, and every morning feels like a massive mountain to climb. You push yourself out of bed. People are always relying on you, but deep inside your spirit, you are running on completely empty reserves. You are so very tired. Your physical body rests at night, but your mind never truly stops racing. You lie awake staring at the dark ceiling for hours, while endless scenarios of failure and panic continuously play out in your heavy head. You worry about the future. You agonize over the mistakes of the past. The heavy burden of survival is slowly crushing your joy. I see the incredible weight pressing down on your chest. Lately, A strange and restless energy has been following you everywhere you go. You feel an intense stirring in your spirit that you simply cannot explain to anyone. Some days you feel like you want to run away and escape everything. You feel a sudden urge to cry for no logical reason, and the heavy sadness comes crashing down in the middle of the day. That is not ordinary anxiety troubling your weary heart. That restless feeling is actually your spirit responding to the unseen realm. Your soul knows that a massive shift is hovering right above your life. You are sensing the intense spiritual warfare happening around your name. You feel completely unsettled because the old chapter is violently fighting against the new chapter, while your exhausted mind is just caught entirely in the middle. You are a captive of grace. I know you feel incredibly misunderstood by the people closest to you. You try to explain your heavy thoughts, but their blank faces only make you feel more isolated. So you have learned to keep your deep struggles completely to yourself. You swallow your words. You choose to suffer in total silence. You wear a mask of strength to protect everyone else. But I see the exact moments when your brave mask finally slips off. I see you in the very late hours of the night when the house is entirely quiet. I watch you break down when you think nobody in the world is looking. I catch every single tear that falls onto your pillow. The world sees your fake smile, but heaven sees your profound heartbreak. You are the beautiful intercessor who carries the heavy burdens of your entire family. You are always the strong one stepping up to fix broken situations. You give away so much of your precious energy to heal the people around you. But when you are bleeding and falling apart, nobody steps up to rescue you. You feel deeply abandoned. You feel entirely forgotten. Listen to me very carefully right now. You are never invisible to me. I have documented every single sacrifice you made in the dark corners of your life. When you quietly forgave the people who deeply betrayed you, I recorded it. When you chose to show kindness, even while your own heart was completely shattered, all of heaven stood up in absolute awe of your radiant spirit. You often ask me why the pain in your life had to be so intense. You wonder why you have to struggle so much harder than everyone else around you. You look at people who live carelessly, and they seem to prosper so easily while you wait. Meanwhile, you pray faithfully, but your financial doors stay stubbornly closed. You are starting to doubt your immense value. Do not let the enemy plant those toxic lies in your beautiful mind. The shadow wants you to believe that you are broken and inherently flawed. He whispers that your severe exhaustion is a clear sign of your personal failure. But he is completely lying to you, because your intense struggles have absolutely nothing to do with weakness or divine punishment. You are highly favored. You are a weary warrior who has been fighting on the front lines of a spiritual battle. You are taking the heavy hits because you carry a highly valuable destiny. The forces of darkness do not waste their powerful arrows on empty targets. They are attacking your peace and your finances because you are a generational cycle breaker. You are a massive threat. Pause right here and take a slow breath. Release the tight grip you have on your anxiety. Allow my gentle presence to wash over your tired shoulders right now, and let my healing warmth comfort your aching chest in this exact moment. You do not have to be the strong one today. You are fully allowed to drop your heavy weapons and rest in my arms. I want you to know that your painful wilderness season was never a mistake. The deep loneliness you walked through was not meant to destroy your beautiful soul. I know the silence felt like cruel punishment when you were desperately begging for a miracle. But there is a profound mystery hidden inside that painful silence. Nothing was wasted. You have been mourning the sudden loss of certain relationships and opportunities lately. People you deeply trusted suddenly walked away and left you standing in the cold. Doors you knocked on for years were aggressively slammed right in your face. You felt rejected, and you cried bitter tears of total disappointment because you truly thought your time of grace had run out entirely. You were devastated. But I want to change the way you see your painful rejections. Those closed doors were actually my divine hands protecting you from unseen disasters. I forcefully removed those people from your life because their energy was incredibly toxic to your future, and they would have destroyed your coming harvest. I was pruning your fragile branches. I was preparing your soul. Your spirit is highly sensitive to the invisible currents of the heavenly realm. That is exactly why you absorb so much pain from the broken world around you. It is not a defect in your mental wiring. It is the specific tuning I gave to your rare spirit, so you could receive what ordinary spirits easily miss in the noise. You are profoundly unique. The enemy is desperately trying to use your divine sensitivity against you. He wants to drown you in endless overthinking so you cannot hear my clear instructions. But I am lifting that heavy fog of confusion from your mind tonight. Stay with me, because the reason the enemy fought you so relentlessly is about to be fully revealed. The truth is near. Do not let your mind wander back to your earthly worries right now. The exact cause of your long financial block is what we will completely dismantle next. Your weary soul has endured enough pain and enough silent suffering for one lifetime, so prepare your heart for what heaven will uncover in the next moment. You are so much closer to your breakthrough than you realize. Now hear me on this, and hear it clearly. I want you to stop seeing your past through the eyes of fear, and start seeing it through mine. You have spent so much time blaming yourself for your anxious mind. You thought your heavy thoughts were a sign of weakness or a complete mental breakdown. But you have been completely deceived by the enemy. That intense heaviness in your chest is not ordinary anxiety at all. It is a highly sensitive spiritual radar warning you of unseen danger. You are picking up on the fierce spiritual warfare raging violently around your name right now. The dark forces in the unseen realm are currently in a state of absolute panic. They are completely terrified of your rising power. The enemy did not attack your finances and your peace because you are weak. Hear me clearly on this profound truth today. He attacked you with such relentless cruelty because you are incredibly powerful. He saw the generational blessing that you are about to unlock, and it completely terrified him. He is desperately trying to stop your breakthrough. Think about the endless series of strange delays in your life recently. Cars breaking down, unexpected bills piling up, and random arguments erupting out of nowhere. It felt like a bizarre streak of terrible chaos crashing into your world. But there is no such thing as random chaos in my kingdom. It was a highly coordinated and targeted spiritual distraction. The shadow forces know exactly what is scheduled to happen tonight. They can see the massive shift of wealth and healing that I have prepared for you. And they are doing absolutely everything in their wicked power to make you miss this specific divine appointment because they want you so exhausted that you simply give up and walk away from me. They whisper toxic lies into your tired mind while you try to sleep. They tell you that you are a failure and that your prayers are just bouncing off the ceiling. They want you to surrender your precious crown and accept a life of miserable poverty. But I am exposing their wicked schemes to you right now. Their dark reign over your family ends tonight. You are the chosen intercessor for your entire bloodline. You carry a very rare frequency that terrifies the demons of lack and limitation. When you simply open your mouth to pray, the atmosphere in the unseen realm literally shakes. The enemy knows that if you ever fully realize your true authority, his grip on your family will instantly shatter. That is exactly why your battles have been so incredibly strange and exhausting. He is trying to drain your spiritual breath before you can speak your decree. He creates total chaos in your physical world to distract you from the massive victory happening in the spiritual realm. But his foolish plans have completely failed because you are here with me. You did not surrender when the intense pressure was crushing your spirit. You kept walking through the dark valley even when your heart was breaking into pieces. The enemy threw his absolute worst weapons at your mind, but you are still standing firmly on your feet. You are a fiercely resilient warrior, and your remarkable endurance has secured your massive reward. Now, I want you to completely reframe every single attack you have faced. Every stolen dollar and every betrayed friendship was actually proof of your high spiritual value. The louder the enemy fights, the closer you are to the promised land. He only wastes his heavy ammunition on the targets that pose the greatest threat to his dark kingdom. Pause right here and take a deep breath. Feel the heavy chains of false guilt falling completely off your tired shoulders. Do you finally understand the mystery of your painful struggles? It was never your fault, my beloved child. You were simply caught in the fierce crossfire of a heavenly war that was fighting to secure your ultimate freedom. I am commanding you to stop blaming yourself for the closed doors. Stop looking in the mirror and wondering why you are not good enough to receive a miracle. You are entirely worthy, and you have always been more than enough in my holy eyes. The spiritual delays were just evidence of the fierce battle raging for your massive blessing. The darkness is currently trembling because you are finally hearing this truth today. The enemy is absolutely terrified that you are absorbing these powerful words into your spirit. He knows that his ancient illusions can no longer control your beautiful mind. The thick veil of confusion is lifting, and your spiritual vision is becoming crystal clear. The generational curses of poverty have haunted your family for decades. Your ancestors suffered quietly under the heavy yoke of constant lack, and the enemy expected you to simply accept that same miserable fate without putting up a fight. He thought you would bow down to the familiar struggles and pass the heavy chains onto your own children. But you stubbornly refused to accept that dark narrative for your life. You dared to ask me for a much better future, and you started demanding complete restoration. That bold act of defiant faith sent massive shockwaves through the demonic realm. You became the prime target of the enemy because you dared to challenge the ancient seal of poverty. I watched you endure the heavy backlash of your bold prayers. When things got incredibly hard, you questioned if you made a huge mistake by asking for more. You felt deeply punished for having big dreams and hoping for a wealthy life. But that severe backlash was not a punishment from heaven at all. It was the desperate tantrum of a defeated enemy. I am giving you a brand new set of spiritual eyes right now. Look at your chaotic life through the clear lens of my divine truth. The intense pressure you feel is actually the heavy friction of your massive breakthrough pushing through the atmosphere. The darkness is fighting so viciously simply because the glorious light is already breaking the horizon. Stay with me, because the profound mystery of your long waiting season is about to be fully resolved. Before I show you the monumental breakthrough, you must understand the powerful weapon that was formed against you. We are going to expose the hidden saboteur completely, so prepare your heart for the next heavy layer of divine truth. Let us go deeper into the painful mystery of your long past. The heavy silence you experienced was never a harsh punishment from heaven. You cried out for a rescue and heard absolutely nothing in return. And when you looked at the barren wilderness of your life, you saw only a bitter and devastating loss. But let me show you. I know you felt completely abandoned when your prayers seemingly went unanswered. You begged me to open the heavy doors of financial provision. You asked me to remove the immense pain immediately. But I kept the massive doors firmly locked, and I allowed the intense pressure to remain on your tired shoulders. You thought I simply did not care about your suffering. That was a devastating lie planted by the shadows. I did not leave you alone to suffer in the cold wilderness. I was actually drawing you directly into the intense heat of the refining fire. The master goldsmith never puts his precious metal into the fire to destroy it completely. He uses the extreme heat to burn away every single impurity so the pure gold can shine. You are my most precious and rare gold. I had to plunge your spirit into the uncomfortable heat of deep silence. The worldly attachments and toxic dependencies in your life had to be completely burned away. If I had given you the massive blessing back then, your fragile roots would have instantly snapped. You were simply not ready to carry that heavy crown. The enormous wealth and sudden power coming tonight require a very strong vessel. I had to build your spiritual capacity through the agonizing delay. You learned how to trust my unseen hand when the visible world was completely falling apart around you. You developed an unbreakable faith that the enemy can never steal from your gentle heart. That fierce endurance was the true purpose. Your lonely tears in the midnight hours were actually watering the deep roots of your destiny. You felt like you were buried alive under the crushing dirt of failure, but you were not buried at all. You were carefully planted by my divine hands in the perfect soil. The dark silence was just the necessary incubation period for your spectacular growth. Think about the people who left you during your hardest season. You grieved their sudden absence and wondered what you did wrong, but their departure was a vital part of the holy fire. I forcefully removed them because their shallow spirits could not survive the deep waters of your new chapter. They would have entirely drained your precious energy tonight. I pruned your branches so you could bear a massive harvest. The sharp cuts of betrayal were incredibly painful to your gentle heart, but every single cut was calculated to protect your ultimate future. You are no longer carrying the dead weight of ungrateful people who only wanted to use your light. You are finally traveling light and ready to ascend higher. Do you understand the immense love hidden inside that painful delay? I refuse to let you settle for a minor victory when a massive kingdom was yours to claim. I held back the small drops of rain because I was preparing you for a complete flood of abundance. Your temporary suffering was the exact price for your permanent and untouchable freedom. The refining fire is never a comfortable place for the human flesh. It burns away your quiet pride and shatters your illusion of earthly control. You had to learn that your true security does not come from a regular paycheck or a wealthy friend. Your ultimate provision comes directly from my heavenly throne, and human hands can never block what I have decreed for you. You stand here today as a completely purified vessel. The intense fire did not consume your beautiful soul. It only burned away the heavy chains that the enemy wrapped around your weary ankles. Look at how incredibly strong you have become through the silent tears. You survived a brutal spiritual winter that would have completely destroyed an ordinary person. This is exactly why the enemy is panicking right now. He watched you survive the devastating fire without cursing my holy name. He threw his absolute worst storms at your small house, but your foundation was securely built on solid rock. You emerged from the dark wilderness carrying a terrifying level of spiritual authority. You are now a lethal threat to his kingdom. I want you to take a slow and deep breath right here. Feel the incredible resilience beating inside your chest right now. That strong heartbeat is the undeniable proof of your massive victory over the darkness. The brutal season of preparation is officially coming to a permanent close. The page of your long story is turning right now in the unseen realm. The terrible silence you walked through has finally served its holy purpose. You do not have to wander in the dry desert anymore. The master goldsmith has looked at your refined spirit and declared that the beautiful work is entirely finished. The intense heat is being turned off today. You are now perfectly aligned to receive the massive shockwave of sudden favor. Listen closely because the atmosphere in your room is already shifting. The heavy silence is being replaced by the loud sound of breaking chains. I am preparing to transition you from the lonely wilderness directly into the glorious palace of your inheritance. Everything you lost in the fire is about to be returned with a massive and supernatural interest. But you must stay entirely focused on my voice right now. The enemy knows that his time to torment you has completely run out. He is preparing one final and desperate illusion to make you look away from the massive miracle. Before I hand you the ultimate key to your breakthrough, you need to recognize his final trap. Do not let your mind drift away from me today. You have wondered why your finances seem to dry up just when you are about to get ahead. It is not poor planning on your part. There is a generational saboteur operating in the shadows of your bloodline. And in exactly a moment, I am going to show you how to break his wicked grip permanently. Stay completely still and guard your peace in this holy hour. Stay with me because the mystery is unfolding right now. We must expose the hidden saboteur operating in the dark corners of your life. You have blamed your own lack of discipline for your failures. You thought you were simply not working hard enough to succeed. But the constant resistance you face is not a natural earthly problem. There is a generational saboteur hiding in the unseen realm. He has watched your family struggle for many decades. He kept your ancestors trapped in a vicious cycle of poverty and deep sorrow, and he expects you to carry that same heavy burden to your grave. He wants to keep the ancient seal of lack firmly attached to your name. But you are the rare soul chosen to break this cycle. The saboteur knows you carry the specific authority to destroy his work. That is exactly why your mind feels so incredibly heavy lately. He cannot stop my heavenly blessing from reaching your hands tonight. So he is desperately trying to distract your fragile human mind instead. Think about the sudden brain fog that clouds your vision. Consider the random arguments that erupt out of nowhere right when you feel peaceful. These are not accidental events happening in your daily routine. They are highly calculated traps set by a terrified spiritual enemy. He wants you entirely focused on earthly chaos, so you miss the miracle. He uses the petty noise of the world to steal your attention. He sends unexpected financial scares to trigger your deep anxiety. Because if you are staring closely at your unpaid bills, you will not see the massive doors opening right above you. He wants your head bowed down in absolute defeat and silent shame. Do not let him win today. I need you to pull your scattered thoughts back to my voice. Take a very deep breath and push the loud distractions away. The enemy is actively trying to make you scroll past this moment. He wants you to close this message before the final key is revealed. You must resist his wicked manipulation with all your strength right now. Your spiritual focus is a highly dangerous weapon tonight. When you completely align your attention with my divine truth, the enemy loses all his power. His dark illusions immediately melt away in the blazing light of your faith. That is why he fights your concentration so fiercely in this exact hour. He is losing his grip on you. Do you feel a sudden strange resistance in your mind right now? Perhaps your body feels restless and you want to walk away. That physical discomfort is actually the saboteur panicking inside your space. He knows that the monumental shift is literally seconds away from happening. He is throwing a desperate tantrum in the spiritual atmosphere. I am commanding you to stand your ground and fight back. You do not fight with physical weapons or angry words. You fight by maintaining your absolute peace in the middle of his storm. Your calm and steady focus is completely destroying his ancient infrastructure. You are dismantling decades of family curses just by listening to me. The generational seal of poverty is finally being exposed to the light. For so many years it operated quietly in the hidden background of your life. It sabotaged your beautiful relationships and drained your bank accounts without any warning. But a hidden enemy loses all his wicked power the moment he is fully exposed. Look closely at the heavy chains wrapping around your current circumstances. They are not made of solid iron or unbreakable steel. They are simply made of ancient lies and inherited fears. The enemy convinced you that you were permanently destined to struggle forever, but that dark verdict is being completely overturned in the heavenly courts tonight. I am calling you out of the shadows of your past. You are not a helpless victim trapped in a rigged earthly system. You are a royal heir carrying the immense power of my kingdom. The saboteur is absolutely nothing compared to the divine authority resting inside your spirit. It is time for you to finally realize your true identity. Close your tired eyes for just a brief second. Feel the heavy spiritual atmosphere thickening all around you right now. My warrior angels have officially surrounded the perimeter of your household. They have completely trapped the saboteur and cut off his escape routes. The unseen realm is heavily pregnant with your delayed justice. We are approaching the exact threshold of your massive breakthrough. The intense pressure in your chest is the final resistance breaking apart. You must not look back at your old life in this critical moment. The ancient warnings tell us never to look back at the past. Keep your spiritual eyes locked firmly on the horizon of my promise. The enemy will whisper one final lie before he is banished. He will tell you that this massive miracle is meant for someone else. He will say you are too broken to receive such an incredible gift. Reject that toxic poison the very second it enters your mind. You are the exact person I selected for this spectacular display of glory. Prepare your weary heart for the shockwave of sudden favor. The long season of quiet endurance is meeting its violent end tonight. The saboteur has been judged and his wicked reign is totally finished. We are about to shatter the generational seal into a million tiny pieces. Stay completely still and brace your spirit for the massive impact. You have worked much harder than anyone else in your circle. You gave your absolute best effort to every single project and relationship, but the saboteur always managed to snatch the reward right out of your hands. He made sure you were always the one left empty and broken. He wanted to crush your spirit so deeply that you would never dream again. He engineered those painful moments of public humiliation and silent rejection. He used the people you trusted the most to deliver the deepest wounds. He knew that physical pain heals quickly, but a broken heart bleeds forever. He wanted you to build massive walls around your soul to block out my love. He almost succeeded in turning your gentle heart completely cold. But he made a fatal miscalculation in his dark strategy. He completely underestimated the resilient nature of your rare spirit. Every time he pushed you down into the dark dirt, you stubbornly grew deeper roots. The heavy pressure he applied only turned your fragile coal into a flawless diamond. His wicked attacks actually forged you into a lethal spiritual weapon. You are no longer the naive child who believed his cruel lies. You are a battle-tested warrior who knows how to survive the darkest nights. The saboteur looks at you now and trembles with absolute terror. He sees the shining mark of my divine favor heavily stamped upon your forehead. He knows he has completely lost the war for your eternal soul. I need you to gather every ounce of your remaining strength. Do not let sleep or sudden fatigue rob you of this holy hour. The spiritual window above your life is wide open right now. The heavy seal that blocked your prosperity is currently vibrating with intense pressure. It is incredibly fragile and ready to explode into dust. This is not the time to be timid or quietly polite. This is the exact moment to claim your righteous inheritance with bold authority. The enemy stole precious years from your life that you can never get back. But I am the master of time and the ultimate restorer of lost fortunes. I will force the saboteur to repay every single thing he took. He will watch in absolute horror as I elevate your name. The very places where you experienced deep shame will become platforms of immense glory. The people who secretly mocked your struggles will stand completely speechless. They will witness the undeniable and shocking power of my favor resting heavily upon you. Your sudden vindication will be incredibly loud and totally undeniable. Quiet your racing mind and anchor your spirit in my peace. We are walking directly up to the ancient gates of your captivity right now. The saboteur is desperately holding on to the rusty locks with trembling hands. But his pathetic resistance is absolutely useless against my blazing holy fire. The heavy iron doors are already beginning to melt away. Keep your attention fiercely locked onto my coming words. The massive shift is no longer a distant promise in the future. It is a present reality crashing into your physical world tonight. The next phase of this encounter will change your entire trajectory forever. Breathe deeply and prepare to step into the explosive light of your miracle. The time has finally arrived. The long season of painful waiting is officially over right now. I am stepping out of the silence to fight directly for you. And while the heavens are violently shaking above your household tonight, the dark saboteur has run out of time and places to hide from my wrath. I am striking the heavy iron gates of your captivity with my blazing holy fire. Hear my loud decree echoing through the unseen realm. The generational seal of poverty is completely shattering at this very second. It is breaking off your tired mind and falling away from your family name. Because the ancient curse that held your bloodline in misery has been permanently destroyed, you are completely free to walk into your new life. You are no longer a victim. This is the shocking event I promised you at the beginning. While the rest of the world is sleeping peacefully tonight, your entire destiny is being rewritten in the stars above. Massive doors of extreme wealth and impossible favor are blowing wide open for you. What the enemy stole over the last 10 years is being violently taken back. I am forcing a supernatural restoration. Look at your empty hands right now. They will not remain empty when the morning sun rises. I am pouring a heavy flood of financial miracles directly into your lap. You worried about the massive debts and the endless bills piling up on your table, but those earthly problems are absolutely nothing against my divine economy of endless wealth. The heavy debt is being supernaturally cleared. The people who mocked your faithful prayers are about to be completely silenced. They laughed when you chose to stay kind in a cruel world. They firmly believed that you would eventually fail and lose everything you loved. But they are going to stand back in absolute shock when they witness my glory falling upon you in this season. Your sudden vindication will be totally undeniable. You are not a helpless captive anymore. You are a royal heir stepping directly into your massive inheritance today. The dark chains that tripped your grandfather and your father will never touch your children. You are the fierce cycle breaker who ended the miserable famine for your entire bloodline, and your brave endurance has literally saved your family from absolute destruction. You are a hero. Breathe in this heavy atmosphere of absolute victory. Let the holy fire burn away every remaining ounce of fear in your chest. The vicious storm that was sent to destroy your mind has been forcefully canceled. And because I am placing a permanent shield of divine protection around your physical body and your bank accounts, the shadow cannot cross this blazing boundary. You are entirely safe. The shocking shift is happening in this exact breath. It is not delayed until next month or next year. It is crashing into your physical reality before this dark night is completely over. I have dispatched legions of warrior angels to remove the final obstacles from your path, and they are carrying the heavy keys to vaults of provision you did not even know existed. Receive them now. Every single tear you cried in the dark wilderness has been turned into a powerful weapon. I collected your silent weeping and forged it into a sword of absolute triumph. You are holding that shining sword right now in the unseen realm. The demons who tortured your mind are fleeing in total terror because they see my authority resting heavily on your shoulders tonight. You have completely won. I am reversing the cruel verdicts that were spoken over your life. Where they said you would remain poor, I decree massive and overflowing wealth. Where they said you would be forgotten, I decree high honor and profound respect. And the tables are turning so violently tonight that it will make your head spin with pure joy as you watch your enemies flee. This is your divine compensation. Do not shrink back from the overwhelming size of this blessing. You have lived in the dark shadows of lack for so long that abundance feels strange. But you must stretch your spiritual capacity right now to receive this heavy rain before it passes by. If you try to hold this massive blessing with a closed fist, it will simply slip away. You must open your hands wide to catch the flood. Your health is being completely restored alongside your finances. The heavy exhaustion that settled deep inside your bones is melting away right now. I am breathing fresh life into your tired muscles and your weary mind. You will wake up tomorrow morning feeling lighter than you have felt in many years because the painful fog of heaviness is permanently lifting from your brain. You are healed. Hear the loud sound of victory ringing in your ears tonight. The intense battle for your future has been decisively won in the heavenly courts. The wicked saboteur has been stripped of all his stolen power and banished from your territory. He can never return to steal your joy or block your massive harvest again. The generational lock is forever broken. You are crossing the sacred threshold from the wilderness into the glorious palace. Leave your heavy baggage of sorrow at the burning gates. You will not need those bitter memories where you are going next. While I am dressing you in heavy robes of favor and placing the ring of authority upon your finger, you must completely forget the pain of your past. Your time to fiercely rule has arrived. Let your tired heart explode with profound gratitude tonight. The shocking event is no longer a distant dream, but a living and breathing reality. The heavens have completely opened above your head, and the golden rain of provision is pouring down heavily upon your life to wash away your deep sorrow. Do not let doubt steal this holy moment from you. Claim your massive victory right now. The iron chains are completely gone. The heavy doors are wide open. The massive wealth transfer is securely in motion. You survived the brutal fire, and now you will enjoy the incredible feast I have prepared. Stand tall and let your enemies watch as I elevate your name to the highest places of honor and massive influence. The shift is done, and your glorious new chapter begins tonight. The massive shockwave of your miracle has already passed through the heavenly atmosphere. Now, I need you to completely quiet your mind and listen to my gentle whisper. The fierce battle is finally over. The heavy chains are lying shattered on the floor. But there is one final step you must take to secure this blessing. You must learn how to fully surrender. For so many years, you have lived in a constant state of deep survival. You held on to the tiny bits of provision you had with a completely closed and terrified fist. You were terrified that if you let your guard down, the enemy would steal everything again. But a closed hand tightly gripping fear cannot receive the massive harvest I am dropping from heaven tonight. I am asking you to release your tight grip on the illusion of earthly security. Let go of the heavy anxiety about your unpaid bills and your unknown future. Place your deep fears upon the altar right now and step away from them. You do not need to protect yourself anymore, because my warrior angels are standing guard over your house. Open your weary hands. Do not let this holy window of grace close without marking your alignment. The spiritual realm is closely watching your physical response to this revelation today. I am calling you to make a bold declaration of faith in the presence of your defeated enemies. This is not just a simple action on a screen. This is your powerful prophetic seal of absolute surrender. Declare your amen right now if you truly have faith. Write the words "I receive my breakthrough" in the comments below as a public seal of your new covenant. When you type those words, you are drawing a blazing line in the spiritual sand. You are actively telling the dark saboteur that his ancient fear no longer controls your magnificent destiny. Do it right now. Leave a heart in the comments as a silent but powerful act of complete surrender. Some of you are too exhausted to even find the right words to pray tonight, and that is perfectly fine with me. Your simple act of leaving a heart is a profound statement of absolute trust. It shows heaven that your weary spirit is finally resting in my ultimate provision. Do not let hesitation or sudden doubt steal this divine moment from you. The enemy wants you to think this is foolish, so you will walk away without sealing the miracle. Ignore his desperate whispers. Step through the sacred pathway I have opened for you before this spiritual window completely closes. Claim your massive provision while the atmosphere is still charged. As you seal this holy covenant, feel the heavy yoke of anxiety completely falling from your neck. Take a slow and deep breath. Let my healing peace wash over your tired mind like a gentle river. You are stepping into a profound season of immense wealth and unbelievable favor. There is no more striving and no more exhausting battles to fight. The victory is yours. I will massively multiply everything you surrender to me today. When you release your fear, I give you unshakable courage. When you surrender your lack, I give you overflowing abundance. You are walking into the new season with a completely new identity. You are the wealthy heir of my mighty kingdom. Rest your weary head tonight knowing the massive shift is done. Do not scroll away until you have marked your territory. The warrior angels are waiting to record your bold decree in the heavenly books. Speak your faith into the physical world and watch how I honor your beautiful trust. Your complete deliverance is fully secured today. The massive harvest is already waiting at your front door. Open it with a surrendered heart. My beloved child, the heavy storm has completely passed, and you can finally close your tired eyes without any fear of the dark shadows. I am wrapping my holy mantle of absolute peace tightly around your beautiful shoulders tonight. You will sleep deeply and peacefully like you have never slept before in your entire life. The mighty angels are standing guard at all four corners of your home to protect your family. When you wake up tomorrow morning, the heavy weight will be completely gone from your weary chest. You will step out into a beautiful new world that has been entirely rearranged for your ultimate favor. The miraculous provision is already set in motion, and no earthly power can stop what heaven has decreed over your life. You are completely safe in my strong hands. Never forget who you truly are in my holy kingdom. You are the brave cycle breaker who endured the painful wilderness to save your entire bloodline, and you are the chosen vessel carrying my immense glory to a broken world. Walk proudly with your head held high. Let the bright light of my divine favor shine brilliantly everywhere you go. The world will clearly see my blessing upon you. If this specific message brought deep healing to your weary soul today, I want you to stay permanently connected to this holy sanctuary. We run entirely on the pure faith and generous support of the precious believers who gather here. Subscribe to this community right now so you never miss another urgent prophetic word. Share this exact message with someone who desperately needs a sudden miracle. For exclusive prophetic guidance and much deeper spiritual covering, look for the special invitation I have prepared in the pinned comments section. May my endless grace multiply heavily in your house. May your bank accounts overflow with massive and untouchable abundance. Go forward in absolute peace, my precious one. The long dark night is finally over, and your glorious golden morning has officially arrived.